guys, Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys doing? Raj here with you. It's a very special review, but prior to this review, let me share something with you guys over here. So far till now, I have this ticket with me, and if you guys can see this ticket, it says the date is the 14th December 2013, and the movie is War. I was so proud of this movie that I'm still holding on to this ticket. I mean, I'm a real movie lover, I like movies, but it was like my dream or hope or something that there should be a kick-ass Pakistani movie which should be reflected in our memories for a long period of time, and we should be talking about that. And I really wanted to see a Pakistani movie in a big giant theater. It wasn't happening earlier. After a long period of time, something was there that satisfied me. Soon I'm going to review this Pakistani movie called War, Pakistani movie called War, which I'm really proud of, and I love that. Apart from that, I also have these tickets for The Last Jedi and I think Infinity War. Anyways guys, let's get down with the review for Cake. Let's talk about Cake. I saw this movie recently, very special movie, and I'm really proud of this movie. That's why I want to talk about this movie. It's better to talk in Urdu. आप कैसा लगता है? I mean, should be हमें उर्दू में बात करनी चाहिए, सही? उर्दू पाकिस्तानी फिल्म है. मैं क्या अंग्रेज दा पुत्र बना हुआ हूँ? No, I should talk in English. I want maximum people to see this movie, even a single person who is convinced and who is going to watch this movie because of this review. It should be in an international language. There's no issue at all. Anyways guys, let's get down with the analysis for this movie. Prior to analysis, let's talk about the story of this movie. It's a very beautifully written story about a family, their struggles, each character has their own story arc, and how the conflict is happening within them, how they are overcoming, how they are trying to fight with that. So speaking of the story of the movie, it revolves around a Sindhi family based in Karachi, and there happens to be an elder daughter who's looking after the businesses of this fine gentleman who's aging and who's having some illness also. Due to some tragedy, what just happens in our Pakistani communities, if there is a tragedy or there is a wedding, we all collaborate, we all just get together, and then we come to know who's doing what. Otherwise, we don't even talk to each other, which is really, bullshit. But somehow some tragedy happens, and due to that tragedy, the other parts, the family members which are abroad and somewhere else, they gather. And this is where the movie shines. For me, the movie, I was watching this movie like this, okay, good, nice framing, beautiful, funny, this and that. The movie was going 10 kilometers per hour, and then the goddamn movie went sky high, the stress, the tension, something happens. This is the beauty of this movie. This is where I was sold, and I was like, okay, too much. Then, that was the segment which I really loved and enjoyed. And I want you guys to experience it on your own. Then we are going to talk about it later. There's nothing to spoil or this and that. Please do watch this movie. So let's get analytical, okay? Analysis. Number one thing that I like about this movie is the cast. Hats off to the cast of Cake. The way they have pulled it off, the way they have served their characters. Mind blowing, fan-fucking-tastic. I just love that. The centerpiece is Amina Sheikh, play as Roheen, I think, yeah. She is so mesmerizing and natural in acting that every time she was on screen, you can see that either she is going to say something witty, okay, or she is really edgy, because the atmosphere around her, the situations around her, they made her tough, just like a boy. What happens if a normal girl turns into a boy, and responsibilities and lots of people to answer? It's going to be really cocky attitude, you know that? So this is what's happening over here, and man, this performance is superb. And this performance would have been hollow if the counterpart, her other sister, which also played brilliantly by Sanam Saeed, and she looked so beautifully on screen. Oh my god. Each time these both are there, they're about to do something mischievous, or they are discussing even a routine matter or something. Very good writing, very good chemistry. This is where the beauty of this movie is, that everything seems so seamless, seems so routine, genuine. There was nothing like, okay, too much Bollywoodish or something that we cannot correlate with This is something that we can give examples about. Fantastic acting. And then there happens to be the, main character around whom the entire character, everybody, he's like a tree. Muhammad Ahmad Sahab, fantastic performance. It is the first time I saw him performing. I have never seen him performing in dramas, or he has written some dramas. As a matter of fact, I don't have much of his details with me, but the guy speaks with his eyes. The guy has too much emotions with him. I mean, it's years and years of thing. Fantastic performance by him, and everybody with his jokes was, whenever he cracks a joke or says something witty, the entire cinema was, it was really amusing to see such a character played brilliantly. And the way I've said it, he portrays a lot. In many scenes, he wasn't saying a single word, but brilliant job, Muhammad Ahmad Saab. And his missus, portrayed by, I just forgot her name, Bio Rana Zafar Amma. Every time she was there, even though she was not saying a single word, people were, smiling, and she's about to say something. We know that. So charismatic, this character, brilliant. What do you call it? Flamboyant character. Regardless of her age, her heart is young. So brilliantly portrayed. I just love the casting of Cake. Hats off to that. I have some issue also, but later. The thing I like about this movie is the direction of this movie. Directed by Asim Abbasi, written also by Asim Abbasi. Man, he's such a gem of a person. I'm really glad that such talent is coming in Pakistani industry, the way he has handled camera. He is the real show stealer over here. The way he has captured Pakistan and minor details here and there, the house, the cracks and everything, so realistic. Even the framing also. I had some issue with the framing also. I don't know how to say that. If you are shooting a person, okay, if you show him like this with this perspective, you can see the back of his head also. It's like somebody's gonna slap. And 2 to 3 times I noticed he kept the camera, the person in the middle. It's never like that. It's either this or this. We are too much into Hitchcock or Alfred Hitchcock or Stanley Kubrick. I personally prefer framing. I see how this guy is framing people. So at certain times I felt the frames were off. And that's only me. That's a minor nitpick, not even worth mentioning over here, but the direction of this guy, the way he has assembled, it's pure gold. I enjoyed his direction, his directing style, his scope. You see, this movie is a very simple linear movie. At one point it becomes a puzzle, and then after that you're like, oh, okay. You correlate many things, like, okay, the first interaction with those two people was uncomfortable. So this is the reason. The flow is fantastic. I just loved it. Hats off to the direction of Cake. Let's talk about some negatives of the movie also. The number one thing I didn't like about this movie is the stronger the female characters are written and fleshed out, the weaker the men and male gender. I could not understand why they were weak, or what was the reason. There happens to be a guy who's a scapegoat sacrificer. If you have seen the movie, you know who am I talking about, but his name is, I think, Faris Khalid, then Adnan Malik, Romeo, yeah. I could not understand. I clearly could not understand. The guy played the character with honesty, but he wasn't given that much of a work to do. Just look at the girl. She's a fire. Amna Sheikh I'm talking about. She's fire. She's something. And on the other hand, this guy is totally, there's no match. But somehow, in our cultures, it develops. Sometimes we do have feelings for certain people. But if I'm Amna Sheikh for someone, I would not fall for such a guy, even though whatever he has done for me, okay, he's the only one, I don't give a damn. The selling point wasn't there, but the director has shown us that, okay, he has done something remarkable, that's why she's falling for her. And of course, no eyebrows, to hell with that. But still, I felt that these characters are a bit weak in comparison with those. And also Zain, the brotherly character portrayed by the fine gentleman. Again, I forgot the name. I suck. What the hell? Zain Faris Khalid. Okay, he's a handsome looking guy, great guy. But still, he does something to his wife, it is not clearly explained. I could not understand. I mean, how come you just abandon your wife like that? But happens. As a matter of fact, his wife, she's not an evil character. They are making jokes of her or whatever her culture is, whatever. I mean, she belongs to states, but she's a normal housewife and she has some demands. In order to do so, something happens and the boy has to make a tough call. It's indeed a tough call, but if they have shown a little bit that his commitment is there with his family, that okay guys, go for some period of time, then I'm gonna return or this, and it wasn't there. Even though he has a child also. The second thing, guys, I didn't dislike about this movie, but it's like a minor nitpick again. Pacing issues. Even my wife was like, sometimes the movie had some pacing issues, but I told her this is how movies used to be. People used to go to theater not for racing or swimming. They went there to get relaxed, and whatever is happening, they should enjoy that. Cake has a slow burn effect, which I really like and enjoy it. So for me, pacing is not an issue. But if the director had trimmed 4 or 5 minutes here and there, it would have been a much better movie, which it still is. So Raj says, Cake is a family entertainment. It's a must go and watch movie for everyone. It has a message. It has many messages. Come on, man. Yes, in case if you can extract those messages. Optimism. In case of tragedy, sometimes how we have to act, how we have to take such bold decisions. I mean, it's not just us. It's not just a selfish thing. Sometimes we have to collaboratively, we have to take decisions which are beneficial for all of us. The movie has many messages. I was like, okay, this. The elder sister, her responsibility, the way she has played. The younger sister, she's going through her own thing, her own guilt. I mean, how many messages a person can get from a movie? These kind of movies, they make you think. Fantastic. I'm gonna rate Cake 8 out of 10. Fantastic movie. In case if you can get your hands on later words on Blu-ray, DVD or whatever, please go watch it. If it's still playing, I was amazed to see that the entire theater was full and we got a corner seat. Still people are going, enjoying, because word of mouth is there. And same thing, I'm here trying to do that. In case if you can watch Cake, please do watch Cake. Please do let me know your comments also. Very neat and nice movie. Take care of yourself, guys. Masalam. Bye-bye.